What is K-pop? This is K-pop. This is K-pop. This is K-pop. And this is also K-pop. So how did we get to here? How did it all start? In 1992, Setaji's heavy metal band broke up, so he switched up his sound and started a new group called Setaji and Boys, with dancers and backing vocals. They debuted on NBC with their first single. It was heavily influenced by US New Jack Swing and hip-hop. The lyrics were raw, honest and direct, and it was something Korean youth had never seen before. The adults were pretty lukewarm, but teenagers loved it. Everything was about to change. They followed it up with their 1993 album and the controversy started. They were banned from national TV because of earrings, ripped jeans and dreadlocks, which at the time was associated with rejection of social norms. Their second album went on to become the first double million sellers album in Korean history. The youth were empowered to be spoken to so directly. On a success high, the group came back once again with the controversial single Come Back Home, very much in the style of House of Pain and Cypress Hill. Once again, due to lyrical content, the song was banned, and once again, the banning made it more popular. The backlash from this banning is considered to be partially responsible for the abolishing of pre-censorship in 1996. Setaji and Boys had opened the floodgates, and there was a rapid influx of new groups and artists to fill the new niche. This group of artists later became known as first-generation idols, creating the styles and aesthetics that following groups adhered to and often dared to break. Some of the standouts in the 90s were tribute to mothers everywhere, G.O.D. tore our hearts out with this from 1999. * 2001 saw the charting of this guy. We'll get back to him in a few minutes. As we moved into the new millennium, noticeable changes were starting to happen. The idol training systems were getting in place. The budgets for songs and videos were much bigger. The productions were slicker. Fandoms were becoming a real influence. And the world outside of Korea was starting to notice. This marks the time that a second generation begins, with a much more unified and organised approach to the whole industry. In 2005, two big events happened. A new company called Big Hit Entertainment was started, which will become really significant in a few years. And SM Entertainment released a new concept boy group called Super Junior 05. Not to be outdone, YG had a boy band up his sleeve too that was going to be a lot more influential than anyone knew. As the 2000s continued, the big hits kept coming. And before we know it, it's 2010. We're moving into a new generation of idols now. It's getting slicker and more well-produced. It's an industry starting to take on the world. The big companies are producing even bigger artists, and they're getting real international attention.
Fantastic, baby.
Just as it looks like 2012 has given us all the amazing songs it could, the music industry across the world is about to take notice. A little-known artist outside Korea is about to break the internet.
Oppan Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. Oppan Gangnam Style.
Although already a big act, Big Bang take it even further with this huge hit from 2015.
Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang. 여기 미소가 예쁜 남자. No. Turn up, baby. Turn up, baby. 좀 더 힘을 내. You can call me monster. I'm trapped in your heart, babe. 뒤집고 무너뜨리고 삼켜.
17 staged a massive comeback in 2016 with one of the best earworms of the year.
아주 nice. 아주 nice. give up. nice. 진짜는 훔친 백수. 어디서 번진 너의 baby. 아찔한 느낌만 궁금해하네. 깨물면 점점 녹아든 스트로베리 금. 예쁘게만 하고 내가 끝없는 애들과 난 달라. Make me feel so high. 미치겠어. 날 멈출 순 없어. It's the love shot.
The award for 2018 earworm goes to Momoland with this track.
하나뿐인 말 랄랄랄랄랄라. 내 머리부터 뿜뿜 내 발끝까지 뿜뿜뿜.
In 2019, Blackpink is huge. They play at Coachella, and if that isn't enough, this song is charting.
Let's kill this love. Yeah, 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 yeah.
As we approach the end of the decade, the big acts are touring the world. SM chooses a US tour for NCT 127 to release this masterpiece.
I'm so super, ay. 함께 remember. Superhuman 이 순간 진짜를 봐.
From the mid-2010s onwards, a key direction for the big music companies is international success. We see Blackpink at Coachella, NCT 127 touring the States, and many other groups and artists start thinking globally. But no history would be complete without talking about one group. In 2010, a small company outside of the traditional big three companies formed a boy group that had something just a little bit different and yet strangely familiar about them. Like Sotaji, this group has lyrics that focus on personal and social commentary, mental health, loss, loving oneself, and the importance of individualism. BTS debuted in 2013. This is No More Dream. 2016 saw the beginning of global chart success with Blood, Sweat and Tears, and the torrent of hits picked up speed. In 2020, Dreamcatcher finally broke through to international acclaim with this hit. And so we move into 2021. A global pandemic stopped us all from leaving our houses, but it wasn't a bad year for K-pop music. YG act Treasure killed the charts with this hit. 2021 was the start of big girl group comebacks, with both Red Velvet and Twice hitting the charts. And in 2021, BTS teamed up with British superband Coldplay for this global hit.
We are made of each other, baby. You are my universe, and I just want to put you first.
Not wanting to be outdone by Red Velvet and Twice, their older sisters, Girls' Generation, had a massive comeback with this track. Mid-2022, Psy teamed up with Sugar for the comeback we didn't know we needed.
20, 22, Psy coming back. 준비하시고 쏘세요. That I like that. 기분 좋아, baby. 흔들어 좌우 위아래로. 1, 2, 3 to the 4. That I like that. That I like that, baby. That I like that. It's like that. That's your. That I like that. That I like that, baby. That I like that. It's like that, baby. Do what you want. Say what you want. Do what you want. Say what? That I like that, baby. Do what you want. Say what you want. Do what you want. Say what? That I like that, baby. That I like that.